Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa linda kufta. Fandibo gelfa pabuelta linda kufta. Oisidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Tuden kuftlava. Fandibo gelfa. Oisidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa, pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa, pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa, pabuelta. Tuden kuftlava, pabuelta. Kuftlab fandibo gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Kuftadan gelfa. Oisidan gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Kuftadan gelfa. Oisidan gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Fandibo gelfa. Pabuelta. Linda kufta. Oisidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Kuftadan gelfa, oisidan gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Kuftlava, pabuelta. Kuftlab fandibo gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Kuftlava, pabuelta. Kuftlab fandibo gelfa. Sidan gelfa vadino gelfa. Linda kufta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Rengundas, oisidan gelfa. Pabuelta. Lava, papuilta. Sidan kelfa vaniinukan kelfa. Renkundas. Renkundas. Noi sidan kelfa. Papuilta. Renkundas. Lava, papuilta. Sidan kelfa vaniinukan kelfa. Lava, papuilta. Sidan kelfa vaniinukan kelfa. Renkundas. 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 Lava, papuilta. Lava kelfa. Sidan kelfa vaniinukan kelfa. Linda kufta. Renkundas. Noi sidan kelfa. Papuilta. Renkundas. Noi sidan kelfa. Papuilta. Lava, papuilta. Lava kelfa. Sidan kelfa vaniinukan kelfa. Linda kufta. Renkundas. Noi sidan kelfa. Papuilta. Renkundas. Noi sidan kelfa. Papuilta.
Sorry, this door is blocked off.
Charanana gundoso remina ke lorak guru katpada. Fiator pada no ringatel camarada telefibu nubu de bitarana chenirara. Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Krishe mentru gre babano flank turu na saganich. Gravawe no ku se tabate bate. Trawinsto sopotuto neliep grimpatado. Trawinsto busuto neliep grampatada. Tele ronda nana nintolo gradatira. Tere wana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere sene senten. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wapa teratana chingaradana. Fera rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor no bodat. Dosane karamala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Tere wana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere sene senten. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wapa teratana chingaradana. Fera rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor no bodat. Dosane karamala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Tere wana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere sene senten. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wapa teratana chingaradana. Fera rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor no bodat. Dosane karamala blur incidera mel rebe chinchin kranaktada. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Tere wana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere sene senten. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan korsada nane gra dalonuta choloren.
Observation. It is a hostile galaxy master. Upgrades would allow us to pulverize our enemies more efficiently.
Tere wana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno toto rere sene senten.
What do you want now? Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to us? They wouldn't dare.
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand when we really needed them.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Kunda. Could be hiding anywhere.
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them, and we could certainly use the money.
Unless somebody beats you to it.
The salvagers keep coming here and bothering the militia. That Garavik is the worst of them.
Welcome to Kunda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions to anything else, just ask. Garavik is a salvager, the worst one of the lot. Try to stay clear of him. He's a dangerous one to cross. Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now, if you like. You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvagers or mercenaries. And you don't look quite gritty enough to be a mercenary. The things that would most interest you are our weapon merchant Anzeron, the leader of our militia. Akere is still around here somewhere too. He sells droid components. Just go to the central corridor and make a right. His shop is the first on the right. If you get into any trouble, he's the person you'd contact. Unfortunately, recent problems with the salvagers and mercenaries have kept him quite busy. The mercenaries cause disruptions for some of our outlying settlers. They are a constant source of friction for us. I hear the salvagers are having some internal problems too. No, I couldn't. If you're really interested in that, just speak to Zeron. We hope it will become the new center of government for the settlers. The Administrator has been trying to organize us in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. We're a small group of settlers on the edge of Republic space. The building isn't large, but it's only the beginning. Certainly. What do you want to know?
Are you waiting for the Administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here. Kunda's like a droid without his power cell. Useless. We have problems all over, and the most you can get out of the Administrator is a pat in the back.
I'm sick of all their excuses and empty words. I need justice now.
I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the Administrator or Zeron doesn't do something, then I will.
Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices.
I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war. I sincerely hoped I could just hang my blaster rifle on the wall as a souvenir for my grandchildren.
But I can't farm without my equipment. Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Kunda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave ruins. Damn Lagrix came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvagers had already stripped it bare.
My farm is the closest to the Enclave ruins. It has to be someone nearby, and if the mercenaries wanted it, they'd just take it in broad daylight. The closest place besides that is the salvager camp, so it has to be them. You ever met one of them? Thievery wouldn't be too far a stretch for any of them. The other day I had to take a shot at one of them. Soon someone is going to get killed, and Dantooine has enough trouble without that. A lot of farming equipment. It's not even valuable, just important for the moisture vaporators and hydroprocessors. The thief must be desperate for credits. It's hard to deal with womp rats when you got a gundark on your back. I believe she'll get around to it, but I think by then it'll be too late.
I understand that the wheels turn slowly on this sort of thing, but my crops are in immediate danger. The salvaging laws on Dantooine are a mess, and in my mind they favor the salvagers.
I suppose you could. Actually, you almost look like a salvager.
If you could go to this salvager camp and convince the salvager Joran to return my modulator, I would be very grateful.
I'm not rich, but I have some souvenirs from the war I could give you. It's right next to the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Just follow the smell. You can't miss them. That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If you need to know anything more, just ask me.
A lot of people here hate Jedi. But when they were here, they tried helping us. I don't blame them.
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Turina Adari. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed? And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel. That is an unfortunate truth, and a wise request, which of course I will honor. Most settlers here hold bitter memories of the Sith occupation. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence. Indeed, true coincidence seems very rare in the affairs of Jedi. But I should tell you, my friend, let's just call him Vrook. We've known each other for many years, and our continued friendship could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong? Vrook and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave sublevel recently and hasn't returned. I know the sublevel is dangerous. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him? We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave's security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you with? Like many parts of Dantooine, the sublevel of the Enclave has become infested with dangerous creatures. Large, vicious insects called Lagrex have made the sublevel their home. Several salvagers have reportedly been injured or killed by the Lagrex. I would expect a Jedi to fare better against the creatures than the salvagers, but Vrook has not returned in some time. Is there anything else I can assist you with? There are plenty of opportunities to assist people on Dantooine. Too many, I'm afraid. I would go to the militia headquarters and make your intentions known there. Besides that, just listen and ask around. To most people in the galaxy, the distinction between Sith and Jedi is a blurry one, especially since most Sith were once Jedi. It is complicated by the fact that Malak and Revan were great heroes of the Republic and famed Jedi Knights. But a few years later, they were leading an armada which threatened everyone. And here on Dantooine, the Jedi Enclave provoked a brutal occupation by the Sith. It could have been far worse, but even now the damage has not been fully mended. I don't think everyone hates Jedi. If just a few people changed their minds or spoke up, it could make a great deal of difference. I think that we need the help of the Jedi. If the Jedi's reputation isn't redeemed, the consequences could be quite regrettable. Until then, I would keep your identity secret. Who do you want to know about? There are 3 groups of people on the planet right now. The settlers, salvagers, and the mercenaries. Dantooine is one of the younger worlds of the Republic. A couple of generations ago, this world was still untamed. We made great progress, in no small part due to the Jedi. But recently, we have been losing ground. During the war, the most prominent settler families either fled or were executed by the Sith. Losing their resources and the Jedi was too great a loss. But now we are organizing and starting to truly work together. Once we achieve that, I am confident that Dantooine can be safe and prosperous again. No, I suppose I'm not. We need the Republic and always have. We aren't self-sufficient yet and we need aid. The fate of the Telos project is intimately tied to our own. The most humanitarian elements of the Senate have put their careers at stake in the rebuilding of Telos. If those efforts succeed, their prominence will grow and further aid will be given freely. But if they fail, there are colder, more authoritative elements in the Senate that could come to power. They would think nothing of leaving the strategically unimportant worlds to their own devices. That would be a tragic day for Dantooine and many other worlds. The Republic is in flux. Its final shape is uncertain. They are a necessary inconvenience. Money has been a great concern to us, ever since the Sandrals and Matalays were removed during the Jedi Civil War. The agricultural exports we produce just cover basic maintenance. To expand and prosper, we needed credits, so we had to exploit a valuable resource we had, the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. It was not a decision lightly made, and even then we couldn't do the work ourselves. Too dangerous, and every settler matters on our small world. So we opened the door to enterprising salvagers. The salvagers you see now are the last remnants of that force. The tithe we took from their claims sustains what semblance of government you see now. We plan on using those credits to improve production and protect our world. We have enough to sustain ourselves until more prosperous times. We tolerate their presence because we must, and they generally follow our laws. But their time is almost over. The Jedi Enclave's sublevel is the only place left with reasonable salvage, and it has too many dangers for them. The salvagers aren't warriors. Generally, they are out-of-work miners or cast-offs from other worlds. Mercenaries have been a problem for Dantooine since the end of the Mandalorian Wars. When the Jedi Enclave was here, they were firmly kept in check. But now, relations are uneasy between us. Their leader, Azkul, was a Sith trooper during the war, and I have no doubt he was very good at his job. Until they find work, tensions will grow. If you want to know more, I suggest you talk with Baroon in the militia headquarters. He would have more details. Certainly.
What brings you to Kunda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garevik. Oh, sorry. If you're brand new to these parts, you may not have any issues with Garevik, unlike most everyone else. You're fortunate not to know him. He's a salvager. His purpose in life seems to be causing us headaches. I can tell he's back in Kunda just by the pounding in my head. If you're not here about Garevik, do you have some other problem? You haven't? Well, that's something. I'm the second in command over here, and we keep getting incidents. Our staff is stretched thin. Too thin. If you do have trouble, I'm not the one to talk to. You need to talk to Zeron. He takes a hands-on role as the militia captain. This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with Zeron. He's a hard man and doesn't answer to anybody. Except, I suppose, the administrator. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. That's not normally a bad thing, but the mercenaries are used to having a bit more freedom. So it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rancor with a stun stick. To a rancor, it's just a minor nuisance. But if you keep at it, he's going to fight back. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just keeps poking them. So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably give the mercenaries some room. It's tricky. You see, I think Zeron may be taking this whole thing a little personal. I'm not sure, just a guess. I also think he's doing more to provoke them than just investigating every complaint against them hard. He's up to something. If someone could just ask a few questions, turn up some answers, maybe see if Zeron isn't being completely honest with the rest of us, well then maybe he should be replaced. Just look around, see if Zeron's up to something on the side. Something that'll hurt the fragile peace we got with the mercenaries. So if you happen to find something out like that, you should see Administrator Adare. If you have to do some footwork to check into things, you'll be compensated. We should probably talk about something else. I hate going behind the captain's back. I just feel... I just have a feeling about it. I don't even want to get into it. Ask around if you want to know the details. It'll just make my headache worse if I talk about it. I don't know what we'd do without Administrator Adare. She managed to plow through a lot of the family bickering once the Sith left during the war. She's kept us together. Oh, and, Zeron too, I suppose. This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. The thing is, So, it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rancor with a stun stick. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable, so he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Dantooine has had mercenaries on it for years. I talked with some, and they're not unreasonable. There's gotta be some sort of compromise we can both live with. Using my own analogy against me? The mercenaries aren't rancors. They're people, like you and me. But if you keep provoking them, it's just dangerous. I think we should be working on getting along. It's hard to follow orders that have you make things worse. That's a good way of looking at it. I may not agree with the captain, but I guess I should make everyone fall in line. I still worry that he may provoke the mercenaries into something more dangerous. But I suppose he may know something I don't. Thanks. I'll tell you anything that's public knowledge. Most militia news passes by me and Zeron. I might be able to help. Oh, you heard about that. We have so much to look into that Sulru's concern is pretty low on our list. We asked the salvagers, but they claim that the salvager responsible is nowhere to be found. I've heard that rumor too. People get really riled up about Jedi around here. Some people seem to have a selective memory. During the war, the Jedi were a big help here. They did everything for us, from clearing out dangerous beasts to solving a murder investigation. I try to stay out of it, though. Standing up for Jedi is one way to become unpopular around here. Easy to say for someone that doesn't live here. I'd rather grab an unshielded power coupling than get involved in that debate. The militia's dealing with enough already. You're not wrong there. For what good it'll do, if it comes up, I'll say what I think is right. You happy? I hope so. You may be my only friend in a few days. Talking about Jedi is just depressing these days. Any other cheerful problems you want to talk about? I'm here to help. What do you need? I'll tell you anything that's public knowledge. Most militia news passes by me and Zeron. I might be able to help. Oh, sorry. If you're brand new to these parts, you may not have any issues with Garevik, unlike most everyone else. Most people follow the rules and just try to get by in life. He's a salvager. His purpose in life seems to be causing us headaches. I can tell he's back in Kunda just by the pounding in my head. If you're not here about Garevik, do you have some other problem? All right, stay out of trouble now.
Tochi monas runta, yun bola, wata gratonchi mulira, pitasa kantone toshak. Posoma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, tino molira nibonon, kin un batno koktek. Posoma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, tino molira nibonon, kin un batno koktek. Posoma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, tino molira nibonon, kin un batno koktek. Hoshmanfu ni wado ni kuta maasapa. Tong hitwamaji. Yuma liba to atong into tune. Hoshmanfu ni wado ni kuta maasapa. Tong hitwamaji. Yuma liba to atong into tune. Insoranaka megunsoji. Nekchi unabola monchi wataton. Sobodono bisel chamaka. Dawanga nochi. Roren manama. Kochpa ino shan opora. Barachi no sukangkadon, makamando uruno intervela ino. Unisidom kanakin mochi so akatla, inkin kunma bolira michiki kun. Jenish melaka wachino so impos morcha chani rikasan. Wala kun bisking mong pal mulira snemo poiduana. Bararanta miki sikosos. Yewenarama ino sosh miki sa winsor michi inkaranich wi okapom. Niko bolotong la do chong now. Barachi no sukangkadon, makamando uruno intervela ino. Unisidom kanakin mochi so akatla. Inkin kunma bolira michiki kun. Barachi no sukangkadon, makamando uruno intervela ino. Unisidom kanakin mochi so akatla. Inkin kunma bolira michiki kun. Dawanga nochi, roren manama, kochpa ino shan opora. Bararanta miki sikosos. Yewenarama ino sosh miki sa winsor michi inkaranich wi okapom. Niko bolotong la do chong now. Poso ma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, tino molira nibonon, kin un patno koktek. Doki nikamaren zuni inash dijon bla wenso mas. Tong abaw shan uninong. Raliki nito! Baramas! No chucha charto into saramaki makvan! Chuta kokpa! Rodanga ninishota shokato! Chuba me masik ratak forfeta! Ni honkak ratog! Jibot malia bit hatawa!
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it? If you're looking for help from the militia, talk to Baroon first. If we can help you, he'll send you back my way. You got any other reason for coming to militia headquarters? There are better places to explore and better people to know. I'm sure you have your reasons, though. I'm sure you got questions of your own. And if you're interested, I might have some work for you. You want something? I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Kunda Plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it. Kinrath are normally just pests. We think something happened to their nest. Started near the end of the Civil War. Nobody knows for sure. Even the Ithorian. And they're smart about such things. Very. The Kinrath you see on the plains aren't as tough as the ones inside the caves. They may not look much different, but they are tough. 2,000 credits. I agree with you, but I don't barter. I got more important things to do. We used some explosives to seal a cave a couple years back. Just made them angrier. They burrowed another entrance even closer to us. I know there are crystals in there, too. Some of the salvagers once thought about going in there to get some extra credits. Too many Kinrath, though. Cave is on the southeast side of the plains. Shouldn't be hard to find. That's all I can ask. You want something? Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable haul the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garavik says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But nobody remembers Garavik ever playing Pazak. I just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something? You really should talk to Barun about general questions. There aren't more than a dozen of us, and there's too many problems. People keep hoping that the Republic sends help, but we gotta help ourselves. She's smart. She gets things done. The whole place would fall apart without her. Dantooine isn't the center of much anything. Our most talented people sometimes leave. Hard for someone to stay a farmer when they have the itch to do something greater. So we're lucky the administrator never went elsewhere. I bet she'd make a decent senator, even. It's our home. Might be the start of an honest capital someday. Right now, it's not much more than a swoop bike stop. I don't have anything to say about that. You want something? He did he? What's this about? I know we don't agree on this, but he's crossing a line. He lives in his sheltered, settler world. He doesn't know what some people are capable of. So he's asked you to go looking into what I'm up to. If I didn't need every last man here. Appreciate. All right, I can use your help. But you can't tell anyone. There's a mercenary captain near what's left of the Jedi Enclave's courtyard. His name is Dopak. Just tell him that I said, go ahead. That's all. You have questions, but it's like this conversation never happened, got it? Just do it. It'll help out Kunda. We can talk more later. It's you again. Well, you know who I am. I figure you've got a reason for coming back. You want something?
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer that lands in a battered ship. Yes. No friendly greetings are here for you. You act like I have insulted your man. Your ship I haven't seen. But if it takes after you, it can't be in perfect condition. I am done being inconvenienced by you. Another interruption. You must...
If it weren't for the Jedi, we'd be a prosperous community. They've brought us nothing but trouble.
A visitor comes to our delightful salvager camp. We are honored. Do you come bringing your credits and curiosity? Am I that transparent to you? Apparently this is so. I am Ralon, known throughout this camp for the many artifacts of value that I have uncovered. An expert, this is certain. A question I pose to you, traveler. Do you wish to buy one of the most elusive of all Jedi artifacts? A powerful Jedi holocron. This is no idle boast, traveler, but a fact. A holocron is easily worth many thousands of credits to any Jedi, but I will sell it to you for a low price. I ask a mere 1,000 credits for this rare find. This is not a matter of negotiation. You should buy it quickly before others come. A discerning question. The reason is simple. The market of buyers is limited on Dantooine. If I were on Coruscant, I could make a fortune with this. My dilemma is I lack the funds to travel, so I cannot reach a better market, so my price is reduced. But you travel. Surely you could find a Jedi buyer. I assure you it isn't. I will show it to you presently. As you can see, it is in fine shape. A real bargain at a mere 1,000 credits. How did you know? Well, I never unload this accursed thing. This isn't my fault. You can't blame me. This forgery has passed through several hands in this camp. I am merely the latest victim. I wish to abandon this dung heap. I apologize immensely. But surely you recognize that attacking me here will pose problems. The militia and the salvagers will hunt you. I will not. Very well, take it. Leave me to my poverty, my suffering. Have you come to join the others and mock my misfortune? Go away. You've added to my already considerable troubles.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda cantina rats coming here to complain? Oh, is that so? You're no mercenary, and with those armaments, this isn't a social call. You're at least thinking of heading to the ruins. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. There's nothing you're gonna find. Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to Kunda. The only thing left is the sub-level, and that's crawling with Lagrex. And those things are smarter than half the salvagers here, though that don't take much. And don't be asking any pesky questions. You're new, and no one is gonna help you out. Because there isn't enough salvage to share with the people already here. And a hungry newcomer is about as welcome as a diuretic hut. You don't look like you're gonna crawl around the ruins. If you want to go to the sub-level, you are gonna need the administrator's permission, though. Well, You're welcome to go down there and die. The Lagrix are hungry and could use a treat. If you're not going to listen to anybody, maybe you can help me out. The only place that has anything is the sublevel. And only a couple of fools have gone there. And they're now dead fools. Yeah, I'd like to do the decent thing and get their bodies and put them to rest. That hole isn't a fit place for a salvager. So, if you find a couple human corpses down there, just grab their gear and their bodies. I'll pay you 500 credits for each of them. Us salvagers that are still here have to stick together. I've been here the longest, and I'll be here last. I buy Jedi salvage from the ruins. Slow business now, but I get by. Sometimes I sell them to visitors like yourself. Besides, that's none of your flaming business. You should have let me know you're a customer instead of letting me think you're some disease-ridden salvager. Let me show you what I've got.
Ratio achieved.
You